Welcome in, everyone. How you guys doing? If you guys decided to hit that subscribe button, thank you for tuning in. And we got a few things to react to today. And I think I'm going to be covering this topic right here. We got my boy atozY having another breakdown of certain situations going on, usually on TikTok. But we got YouTube millionaires facing life in prison. I saw it show up in my feed. I was like, oh, what's this? And as I went to watch, I was like, you know, why watch it? I can react to it. You know what I mean? So let's go. Let's see what's happening.
This YouTube millionaire is now facing life in prison after attempting to end the life of a cop and threatening everyone in court. And speaking of his court hearing, it's hard to get more ridiculous than this.
If anyone dares try to test my mental confidence, I will eviscerate every single person with my intelligence right now.
Well, when you put it like that, case dismissed. I mean, threatening everyone in the courtroom might not be the best way to get out of an attempted murder charge, but unfortunately for him, it doesn't seem like he's as bright as he thinks he is. Either way, this is Eric Van Conover. He's been described as a YouTube millionaire and clearly can eviscerate you with his gigabrain intelligence, but what he's really known for doing is real estate videos for homes basically our entire bloodlines combined could not afford. $1 billion house, $500 million mansion in America, what $150 million buys you in New York City, and so on and so on. But the coolest thing I saw this guy do was he toured the original Home Alone house.
Welcome to one of the most famous houses in America.
But either way, Eric had everything going for him until he allegedly made the worst decision of his life.
Police paperwork says the pursuit started after Conover was going 55 in a 35. After 8 miles, Conover stopped and an officer attempted to de-escalate the situation, but Conover allegedly drove at him and hit him in the leg and then sped off for another 28 miles.
Take the speeding ticket. What are you doing? They're alleging that he was drunk, but even so, take the DUI charge. Trying to end the life of a cop will completely ruin your life. There is no... Whoa, damn, dog. There is no way that would ever work out in your favor, but after this incident, the police tracked down Eric, and Eric claimed that he was not the same guy they were looking for. Apparently, that was a lie, and Eric, he is quoted telling the cops, "This seems to be a massive misunderstanding. I'm exactly who I say I am. I'm a YouTuber." He also said that he was not from Epsicon? So basically, to avoid being arrested, Eric claimed that there's another Eric out there from a small town in Absecon, New Jersey, and that he's not that Eric. He's a famous YouTuber from New York City. Well,
I'm from a town called Absecon, population 8,000, with, get this, a median per capita income of $41,000 per year.
that was a lie. Dude should have erased his internet footprint before lying to the cops. I mean, at this point, it looks like his next video will be something like touring my new $100 million home. And to make things worse for him, the cop who Eric almost ended the life of is named Cameron Emmett. And he attempted to pull Eric over while Eric was doing 55 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone. So that's basically just a speeding ticket. But for whatever reason, the cop putting his lights on made Eric completely panic. Why would he run? Yeah, we kind of hinted at that earlier. But the cop followed Eric and managed to stop him through a few maneuvers. And then things got really bad. Brian Moffat is the police sergeant who testified in court, and he said while Officer Emmett exited the vehicle, he moved around the rear of his cruiser, and Mr. Conover then backed his vehicle rapidly, pointed it directly at Officer Emmett, and accelerated at him. And
bro, he really tried to... The officer. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's one thing to... Yeah. Okay. Sounds like he playing some stupid games. And he gonna win some real stupid prizes in jail.
And this struck him with a reasonably high rate of speed. I mean, that is a pretty good case for attempted murder, especially because the officer flew 20 to 40 feet from the impact. And the case against Eric isn't looking good for him either because, you know, the whole interaction was caught on video by a drone operator. And trust me, I looked everywhere from that video, but it is not public yet.
Talk to me about attempted murder. Is attempted murder hard to prove here?
Well, if the deputy's recount of what took place stands and isn't controverted by some other evidence or testimony, for example, like body cam or dash cam from the car, then yes, it's not going to be terribly hard for them to get an attempted murder charge. Look, if this person could clearly see that the officer is standing in front of the car, sees the officer clinging to the hood, accelerates at him at, they say, a reasonable rate of speed, well, clearly it must have been fast enough to when he hit the brakes or swerved that the officer went 20 feet, according to what the fellow officer said. That means that car was going at an extremely high rate of speed, in my opinion, based upon what I've seen in other incidents. And that in and of itself shows a reckless disregard.
Obviously, he's got to be on something to see a cop and freak out like that, which might be the case because Eric is also facing a DUI charge from just a few days before this incident on March 13th. Here he was charged with possession of the reefer and a DUI and was released on personal recognizance, which means that he didn't have to put up a bond or anything. They just trusted he was going to appear in court, which he did for completely other reasons. I would be kicking myself right now if I was the guy who ruled that he should be released on personal recognizance right now. So... But in this hearing, which happened on March 17th, the judge ordered that Eric to be held without bail pending a competency hearing on March 25th. That hearing, the one from the 17th, is where we got Eric saying that he was going to eviscerate every single person in the courtroom with his intelligence. He's also saying that everyone there was treating him like an animal, which, I mean, it could be true, you know, since Eric is fully crashing out here.
Mom, thank God, look at me.
Today in court, Conover was outspoken, claiming that he's a public figure because of his nearly 3 million subscribers on YouTube and saying this was part of a, quote, police sting against him.
All right.
Okay, Eric.
All right.
They're here to help you.
What a nightmare for the parents. That is not a position.
That's his parents saying on... I wonder if they're used to his erratic behavior like this, you know what I mean?
Position any parent wants to be in. But yeah, his charges include attempted murder, the DUI, and a first-degree assault charge against the police officer. He's also getting a second-degree assault, reckless conduct with a deadly weapon, and conduct after an accident. Then on top of that, disobeying an officer and reckless driving. I mean, that is just one insane list. But he did use his car to try to end the life of the cop and drive off. So, I mean, what did he expect?
He has had a chance to review the police reports in this matter and denies these allegations. He does not agree with the reports as that they are stated.
The defense asked that he be released, saying he's not a threat to the public and has no criminal record. Police say he was arrested Friday night for a separate drunk driving charge, which Conover denies.
I've been sober from alcohol for 1,558 days, so to press me on a DUI, I'm a public figure.
Yeah. Fair. He was let go, and then he tried to end the life of a cop just a few days later. I mean, this whole situation just does not make sense to me.
Kind of sound kind of like he's used to getting his way. Not used to being told no and that entitled kind of behavior, really and truly.
Extremely successful dude. Throws it all away because I guess he was panicking to get out of an alleged DUI. Was he under like some sort of reefer-induced psychosis? Because we know some people respond terribly to it, and he was caught with it just a few days earlier. Not like being caught with that is a terrible thing now in 2025, considering you're fine with a personal use amount in most states. But clearly, he was in the wrong state with it. I'm just trying to make sense of this. Obviously, it could be any other harder substance or alcohol. A lot of alcohol. But either way, I mean, the dude has completely lost his mind, with or without substances, as he's coming across as an ego-centered dude who thinks his internet fame means nothing can touch him. I'm sorry, dude. That just makes you come across as even worse. Like, this is, in a way, similar to the Wes Watson case, where the defense is pushing for self-defense despite...
You see, right there, I want to do the Wes Watson. I swear he did this. I want to check and see, you know, I swear I saw that on my timeline. I want to go check that out. Yeah, because I saw a video when he attacked the person in the gym, and I was like, bro, you know you're throwing everything away. Like, you made a big mistake here. So I want to go check that out.
Wes hitting the guy 50 times over the head and yelling, "I'll end your life," over and over again. Eric, he tried to run over a cop, managed to hit him in the leg, and then ran some more. And this is, again, all after he just got a DUI charge, and the defense is claiming that he's not a danger. His defense must be on what he's on, because clearly this guy's a menace to society. I love that they're claiming that the reason he's not a threat to society is because he had no violent priors. What about that DUI he was charged with days before this happened? Like, what? Like, dude didn't even have time to go to court for that case until he was dragged in for a way worse reason. But I do think the next question is how a guy goes from this seemingly high-functioning, successful person to a complete crash out who almost ends someone's life. And while researching, I found Eric does have a history of alcoholism. And yes, he claims to be over 1,000 days sober, but with the recent events, I'm not so sure about that anymore.
Alcoholism can run through a family, and if a family has resources, that could be the undoing of it. So, you know, by the time it got to me, 12 generations down, I'm from, you know, a very middle-class family in Absecon, New Jersey. I'm not, you know, owning 3,000 acres in Flatbush. So yeah, I'm from Absecon, New Jersey. I was born into a very middle-class family, hard workers. I have a history of alcoholism on both sides of my family. But the thing is, alcoholism, I've realized, is a side effect of trauma. Like, plain and simple, addiction is a side effect of trauma.
It's actually depressing that he started a podcast called Building a Legacy 2 months ago, and now he's sitting where he's sitting. You really are just one bad decision away from completely ruining your life. But this is looking more and more like a high-strung guy who had a relapse and is not accepting it. Of course, that's alleged because Eric is claiming that he did not relapse. In fact, this video I showed was apparently filmed in late 2024. But Eric actually uploaded it fairly recently, putting this in the description of the video. I'm just gonna make some guesses here because, like, why would he record this a few months ago and then post it way more recently? Right. Is this him relapsing and then posting this video to, like, try to make it look like he isn't relapsing? Yeah. Is this just a way for him to, I guess, lie to himself or his audience? Maybe he uploaded all this because he was slipping and wanted to wait.
I mean, bottom line, don't be getting behind a wheel if you've had a drink. Secondly, don't be trying to run over no police officer and then try to do it a second time and expect not to be in trouble. Yo, boy, it's wild, really and truly, you know what I'm saying? Entitled. Because anybody else, though, they wouldn't be arrested. They'll be off to the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Let me know any other kind of topics and stuff you want to see me cover. Hit me down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And take care, be safe, stay blessed out there.